What's up, Dragon Brood? We're back talking about more arena tips. This seems to be something popular and things that people need, so I figured why not continue on with the series. And as usual, if there's anything you want to know, please let me know down in the comments below so we can try to make videos of it, at least if it makes sense in a video format. Anyway, today I want to go into some details to talk about how you earn more gold, experience, and boosters in Arena. I mean, ultimately the goal is to get gold or gems and to get more booster packs, because that's how we get more cards, that's how we get more wild cards, and that's ultimately kind of the whole backbone to the system in Arena. But when people are starting, they're kind of wondering like, well, what's the best way to get gold? What should I be doing? How do I get more packs? Why does this experience matter? Hopefully I can answer some of that in this video for you. But before we go any further, remember to please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell, because as always, that helps me out while we're trying to grow the channel. So for now, why don't we hop into the video and show you kind of how we go about getting all this gold and experience and boosters that I promised you we were going to talk about. Okay, now the easiest way and the most obvious way to gain gold is really for doing what they call your dailies, or your daily rewards. And you're going to see those here toward the bottom, and usually you can have up to 3. You'll see this here. This is a timer on any of your stuff, and it kind of just shows you it's going to be 8 hours and 20 minutes before this resets and fills a slot. Then you'll see 2, and then there'll be a third one over here, and it'll be another day before that slot fills. Generally, if you're doing them regularly, you're only going to have 1 available to you, or you're going to see the hourglass telling you that it's waiting to reset. All of your rewards are going to be either 500 gold or 750 gold. And you're going to be able to get these daily. And they're all pretty easy stuff. It's either like play so many lands, attack with so many creatures, kill so many of your opponent's creatures, cast spells of certain colors, things you're going to be largely doing anyway. So they're pretty easy to achieve. The one thing you'll notice is if you hover over them, you have the option to switch one of these, or basically re-roll it once per day. And that'll change the goal that you're trying to achieve with this reward. Now, you have to be careful because it can possibly change your gold reward. So right now, since it's at 750, that's the most I can earn in a day, or at least the most I can earn from one of these rewards. If I hit it, it may not come back at 750, it may come back as a 500. And that changes things, right? But this is really dependent on you personally. Like in this case, I have cast 30 red or green creatures. Well, I play a lot of red and green decks, so there's a good chance I'm just going to leave this. If this were cast 20 or 30 blue spells, well, I'm not playing a lot of blue decks right now. Or maybe when you're starting, you just didn't take the blue deck to start with, or you're not building that to begin with. So it's not going to be as beneficial to you. So then in those cases, you're better off re-rolling it, because even if it comes back with 500 versus 750, there's no harm, no foul. You weren't going to earn the other one anyway. The other side is sometimes when it's something you're not going to be able to earn easily anyway, and it's only at 500, it might come back upgraded to 750. So that's a thing to pay attention to as well. Now next to that, you have what we call your daily win rewards. With this, you get up to 15 wins per day that can reward you with either gold or what they call ICRs, individual card rewards, which I believe we touched on these on a previous video. Now, this isn't really all that demanding that you need to try to get all 15 wins in a day. And honestly, if you're on the free-to-play model and you're not spending any money, this is obviously going to be something you would like to do because you can get free gold, right? And gold equals boosters, boosters equals cards. But they really taper off after a while. So the first 4 will get you 250, 100, 100, 100 in gold. Then it starts to alternate between an ICR and 50 gold, ICR, 50 gold, until you get to the last 4 levels, I believe, and then it's 25 gold, ICR, 25 gold, ICR, 25 gold. So it really drops off after those first 4. So your goal at a minimum should be to hop on and try to get 4 wins before you log off. And usually in the process of getting those 4 wins, you're going to complete some number of your dailies that are sitting there as well. So you'll knock out your daily rewards while also getting those first 4. What that means is every single day, almost at a minimum, you should be able to earn a booster pack. Because if you do 250 plus 100 3 times, that's 550. If the lowest you're going to get from a daily reward is 500, well, that's 1,050 at a minimum. The times you get 750, that's already putting you a quarter of the way toward another booster pack. So every 3 or 4 days, you should be able to generate 4 to 5 booster packs, depending on how your daily rewards come in. If you do beyond the first 4 wins every day, then you could probably pick that up and get another couple of boosters a week, which is actually a pretty good deal. Now, if you notice here on the daily win rewards, it also says you get mastery experience. This experience goes toward you clearing your mastery pass, which will, or I guess I should say your mastery line. And we can show you that here in a second, because that's another important way to get gold boosters and other benefits. I believe we touched on the mastery pass and the welcome bundle in a previous video as well, if you want to go check that out. But that's another thing to consider. Every time you're clearing these rewards, getting those extra 25 experience means you will get those extra packs faster. So that's something else to consider. Now, with your weekly win rewards, you can get up to 15 wins in a week to fill this up. And they're all worth 250 experience. So once you top that off, there's nothing else to be earned, and then it just starts your countdown clock for when it resets. So these are also counted alongside your daily. So let's say you only do 4 daily wins, then you have 4 down on this. So you come back, you can still earn 4 new daily wins tomorrow, and you still have 11 of your weekly wins that are available to you. So, and all this gives is experience. So this doesn't necessarily give any gold, but this goes toward getting you those extra boosters out of the mastery line. Now, what this shows here on the last one is just kind of showing your mastery reward track. So you know what your next reward is going to be, and then it shows you at the bottom how much experience you need until the next level. Each level is 1,000 experience. This shows you here that we are 200 of the experience needed of 1,000 to reach the next level. So once I reach 800 more, I'll get 500 gold. Now, I've mentioned the mastery line or the mastery track multiple times already. So for those of you that are curious, this is what it looks like. Let's go back to the beginning here. Here you have basically every other level, you're going to get a booster pack. So every 2,000 experience that you gain is worth a booster. So again, when we're talking about those experience you get from the daily wins, from your weekly wins, that's contributing toward this on a regular basis for you to get those booster packs. However, on the previous video, when we recommended purchasing the mastery pass each season alongside your welcome bundle, this is why. Because here you're getting a booster every other level. But you're also getting extra cards, extra booster, extra gold that you wouldn't be getting otherwise. So for that, we'll call it a $20 value, that purchase, you're getting a lot of value out of that. Like, whereas, let's say, currently it's showing that I am up to level 30 already. So that's 15 boosters. But since then, I've also accumulated all of this down at the bottom. So each of these is a new card style. There's a couple of extra boosters. There's 500 gold. There's 200 gems. An additional 500 gold. Another booster pack. Another 200 gems. A mythic, random mythic reward. So all of that and whatever, the 5 card styles or whatever in between, and a couple of other mastery orbs would just contribute to you getting some other card styles, right? All of that bonus over those extra 15 boosters. But this is one of the biggest reasons you want to hop on daily, because basically every other day or so, you should be able to get close to another booster pack. So that helps you out a bunch when you're trying to start out and get extra gold, get those extra wild cards. Because again, as we're opening booster packs, we showed you here that every time you open a pack, you're also filling this wheel out. So you're getting extra uncommons every single time, and then you're filling this up to get a mythic wild card, and then it'll alternate to being 2 gold, or I guess rare wild cards, and then another mythic, then 2 rares, another mythic. So every 6 packs, which basically every week you should be able to fill this wheel at an absolute minimum. There's going to be a lot of times you're going to get more than that. So there's a lot going on there. So people ask, like, is it very possible to play Magic Arena as a true free-to-play model? The answer is absolutely yes. There's several people that do it right now. The difference though is that you can't expect to build every single deck within a given format just playing free-to-play. Unfortunately, you're just not going to generate enough wild cards to build everything you want to build. Now, if you want to have, let's say you're going from 0 and you want to build up to a competitive tier 1 deck, right? Basically one of the top levels of, say, 5 or 6 decks. Can you do that realistically in a timely fashion? The answer is yes. I would just say though, if you at least start out from the beginning with the welcome bundle and the mastery pass, there's a good chance you're going to be able to get there in probably 3 weeks-ish time, maybe 3.5 weeks. But if you don't do that, then I would say you'd be looking at something like probably 40 to 45 days to get a competitive level deck. Just because, you know, between the packs you're going to open, you're going to acquire some of the cards, some of the wild cards are going to get you what you need. And, you know, there may still be 2 or 3 decks you can't build because they have a lot of rares or a lot of wild cards. And that's to be understood. But there are a lot of really competitive decks, like the mono red decks, you know, that are doing fast damage. The life gain decks that are mono white and sound like what you think they would. They don't need a lot of rare lands. They don't need a lot of big mythics. Each of those decks maybe plays a couple of mythics and a couple of handfuls of rares, maybe. So you can totally do that. And you can also focus what you spend your gold on, right? So if a particular deck you want uses more cards from Core Set 2021, or it uses more cards from Theros, you can focus on opening those boosters to increase the odds that you get more of the cards that you need. So that's one way to do it. But like I said, if you're trying to go completely free to play, you're kind of going to have to focus on 1, maybe 2 decks for the first 2 months while you're starting. After that, each subsequent deck becomes a little bit easier to build because you've collected extra cards from all those other boosters that you've been opening. So your 3rd, your 4th, your 5th deck slowly gets easier and easier to build because you've been collecting all those other parts that didn't go into the decks you're playing at that time. So yes, you can totally play for free. You're just going to have to spend more time. But I don't think the investment of, we'll call it $25 when you start, is bad. And then spending like $25 every 2.5 to 3 months, that can easily keep you up to speed and competitive for the majority of Arena. Now, if you're trying to stream and build a lot of decks, then you're usually going to have some kind of reasonable investment, maybe once when a set comes out or whatnot, so you can build all the decks you want to build. But not everybody's in that camp. So I would say yes, it's one of the more generous free-to-play models. Now, would people like some things to be different? Absolutely. But I've played other games, both card games and non-card games, and I have to say Arena feels like one of the more generous games that I've played before. But I hope this helps you out explaining how you can acquire extra gold, extra boosters, and ultimately how the Mastery Pass works to get you the wild cards and whatnot. Because it is a little bit confusing when you first start. There's a lot of information there, and there's a lot of different ways you can acquire stuff. So hopefully this helps. If there's anything else you want to know, please let me know down in the comments below so we can kind of figure out what the next video should be. I also want to remind you, if you're budget conscious and you want to get into paper magic, consider checking out my sponsor, Cardsphere.com. They're a great place to let you sell your cards at the price you want, buy your cards at the price you want, and they actually take all the work out of finding the right people because it pairs each of you up with people looking to buy at your price and people selling at the price you want to buy at. It's really a cool feature, and they work in real dollars, so you aren't playing for like points or credits or anything else. It's just straight cash you can deposit right into your account. So definitely check them out, Cardsphere.com. And remember, if you liked this video and the content, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified, especially if you hit the notification bell, every time I put out one of these videos with more Arena tips and tricks. That's all I have for you today. We'll see you next time.